वरेण्यः। हे प्रभु मेरे परम सखा, परम सखा, मेरे परम सखा। हे प्रभु मेरे परम सखा, परम सखा, मेरे परम सखा। तुम ही बंधु हो, तुम ही स्नेही, तुम ही हो मात पिता। दुख में धीरज देने वाले, कष्ट में सुध लेने वाले। दुख में धीरज देने वाले, कष्ट में सुध लेने वाले। तुम ही सहाय सदा। हे प्रभु मेरे परम सखा, परम सखा, मेरे परम सखा। कभी प्यार से पिता पुकारो, कभी बंधु कह तन मन वारो। कभी प्यार से पिता पुकारो, कभी बंधु कह तन मन वारो। कभी स्नेह से कहो सखा। सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै। तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Together we will chant chapter 15, verses 1 to 10, Bhagavad Gita.
अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच शाकम् अश्वत्थम् प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तम् वेद स वेदवित् अधश्चोर्ध्वम् प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदम् तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यम् पुरुषम् प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययम् तत् न तद्भासयते सूर्यः न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः
Every human being is made up of a body, mind, intellect, and self. The body, mind, intellect is known as Prakriti. It is the false understanding of yourself. The self is your true being, but none of us know it at all. Because we are not aware of our true being, because we are not aware of our greatness, we are involved with, attached to, affected by unnecessary things. All along, we have a reaction to things that no reaction was required. But why is that? Because we believe ourselves to be this body, mind, intellect. So the only way to live a life of freedom is to recognize that you are the self. There is no other way to do it. As long as you see yourself constricted and restricted by that personality is bound to be affected by the world. What else will happen? Will heat and cold not affect this body? Will joy and sorrow not affect the mind? Will ideas and concepts not affect the intellect? How is that even possible? But why am I affected? I am affected because I think of myself as this body, mind, intellect. Now, here's a conundrum for us. How do we not think of ourselves as the body, mind? It's impossible, right? And if someone tells you, don't think, Mahesh, don't think you're Mahesh, how is Mahesh going to think that he's not Mahesh? If at all he thinks like that, we will go and put him in a lunatic asylum. Or we'll say, what? Of course you're Mahesh. How can you not be Mahesh? So what are we supposed to do with this piece of information? Right? I cannot consider myself to be the self right now. If I consider myself to be the body right now, body, mind, and intellect, I will get affected by the world. So it almost seems like, what am I supposed to do with this information? When I hear it, I'm inspired by it. And then later on, my life comes back to normal. So, what am I supposed to do with this information? How long can I stay inspired? Inspired is not my 24-hour being, right? I'll be inspired, then that inspiration will go away. This is normal. What am I supposed to do with this information? Once this principle is clear to us, once at least theoretically you understand all your problems are because of your association with the body, mind, intellect. Once this much is clear, is this much clear? Everybody, tell me, is this much clear that all our problems are because of our association with the body, mind, intellect? That is clear.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anybody has a
Yes.
problem? Okay, great. Anybody has
Yes.
a problem with that? Right. This, I mean, it's self-evident, right? That if you did not have an association with your body, mind, intellect, you wouldn't have that problem. Now just imagine somebody in Gaza. Okay, there's a horrible war is going around him. I don't know what all people are dying around him. Maybe his own family has been affected, maybe killed in this whole process. He's going through suffering and poverty and now famine and everything. But you are not. You are not suffering any of that. Why not? Because you are not associating with that body, mind, intellect there. You are associating with the problems of this body, mind, intellect. And therefore, our problems are of this body, mind. And our problems seem very big to us. Okay, this much is clear. Now, what am I supposed to do with this? If this is clear and this we are in agreement on this, then we go to the next step, which is understanding how is this supposed to impact my life. As long as I associate with this body, mind, and intellect, I will be in trouble. So, what am I supposed to do? Obviously, disassociate. How can I disassociate? I cannot say I'm not the body. Yeah, somebody pokes you with one pin, you'll find out how much body you are. So, no say I'm not the body, I'm not the body, don't. Then what should you do? What is the intelligent way of using this principle is associate yourself with something bigger, with something nobler. And then you will see that what is affecting your body, mind, intellect affects you less. Suppose you're determined. Somebody is determined to feed, let us say, orphans. During COVID, how much time, energy, effort, and inconvenience people put up with. They made food, they went outside, they distributed the food, It was not very comfortable. It was maybe dangerous. Why did they disassociate with their problems so much? Because they are associated with something beyond themselves. And then you find these people get all the results we are talking of. How are they able to put aside their likes and dislikes? Because they're interested in something greater and nobler. The greatest fear a human being has. What is the greatest fear a human being has, or any being has?
What will happen to me?
Death, right? That's
Fear
the
of death.
fear of death. That's the greatest fear. Then how can Shahid Bhagat Singh walk to the gallows like a king going to his coronation? How is he able to disassociate with the greatest fear to all beings? If you are in danger of life, what will you do? Will you think you're God? That's how you see him walk to the gallows. Even in the movies, they show walks like as if he's the king over there. So, why has he been able to get over the affectation of the body, mind, intellect? Is because his identification has moved from the body, mind, intellect to whatever cause that he has put for himself. Right? So, what have we spoken of so far? Every human being is made up of a body, mind, intellect, and self. Because our attention is on the body, mind, intellect, and not on the self, we are affected by everything that happens to the body, mind, intellect. Now, we cannot think ourselves as the self. We cannot say that, oh, I'm not this body, mind, intellect. Then how are we supposed to use this piece of information? We use this principle in our way. What is our way? What can we do? Instead of saying, this is happening to me, that is happening to me, I see what is happening somewhere else and see what I can do about that. And once my mind moves away from myself like this, I find myself less affected. So, whenever we work for something beyond ourselves, you find that suddenly you are not so inconvenienced by the things that you were inconvenienced earlier. Suddenly you find that you're not as tired as you used to be earlier. Suddenly you find that you take things in your stride. You continue to be cheerful no matter what happens. Genuinely. Not like you're laughing to make up for it. When you put your head on the pillow at night, you simply go to sleep. When you talk to somebody, you're 100% with that person. People nowadays use this word authentic. You should be authentic to yourself. It's a very, very strange thing. What is not clear to us is authenticity is the most relaxing thing. If you are authentic, if you don't have to show anybody anything, if you're simply yourself at any time, you're not proving yourself any better, you're not proving yourself any worse. You're not trying to get anything out of anybody. You're not making anybody do anything. You're simply authentic to yourself. You're just being yourself. Whatever is your cause, whatever is your purpose, you're just simply doing that. And you just are completely relaxed. Imagine if you have to always work in such a way that you have to make somebody do something. Like, imagine how exhausting and tiring that is. Just relax in the higher goal. Just relax in the higher. Fix the goal, work, and keep working. So that's what he is talking about in verse 7. A portion of my eternal being, having become a portion of my eternal self, having become a being in the living world, abiding in Prakriti. So in poetry, so you put it in your way. So self plus Prakriti is equal to the individual. So it's you and I. Now, that's what he's saying. Attracts the senses with mind as sixth. So, what is the Prakriti? Self, he's told you, is the eternal being. What is Prakriti? It is mind and senses. Mind to represent all thoughts, senses meaning the body, the 10 senses, the 5 senses of perception and the 5 senses of perception and action. Excuse me. Now, when you learn a principle, like you have learned here, right? What have you learned? Prakriti plus self is equal to individual. You have to understand it and think about it enough till you can figure out what you're supposed to do with this principle. Everybody knows self plus matter is equal to individual. If I ask you, everybody in this class will answer this question because you've done it millions of times. But then from there, we understand other things. We understand that the problems that we are facing are all the problems of Prakriti, right? Nothing to do with the self within. So that's why it says, Shariram yat apnoti yat utkramati. When that eternal self takes the sharir or leaves it. So what is this referring to? The various changes of life. These various changes of life affect us. Why do they affect us? Because we think we are that change. We don't realize we are the eternal self. The eternal self is always with us. When you leave even this body, the self is with you. I mean, the self is with you. Where are you going to run away from yourself? Right? So, if you can focus your attention on that which is with you, it says, as the wind carries the scents from their seeds. So, in the medium of all pervading Atman, your causal body and subtle body take on a new gross body. Please understand that this is the highest change. Means now you're dead. That is the highest change. Okay, but when he is referring to death, don't take it only as death. Take it as every change. Because birth and death is nothing but change. Something is born and something dies. At 10:30 today, what was born?
Gita class.
And at 11:30 today, what will die?
Gita class.
So it will come, it will go. Then it will come, it will go. This is life. Today, maybe you fought with your spouse. Then after some time, what will happen? It'll all become harmonious again. Then after some time, what will happen?
Again fight.
Again fight. Settle down, relax. This is life. Isn't it? Today you're healthy. After some time, what will happen?
Some ailment will come.
Some ailment will come. Then that ailment will be cured and you'll be healthy again. Then what will happen? Another
Again
ailment.
after some time.
Again, same thing. Now, every time the ailment comes, every time the fight comes, if you start jumping up and down, you decide, are you the eternal self or are you a popcorn on a hot tawa jumping up and down like this? What are you jumping up and down for? Ye hota hai. So when he's talking of birth and death, we have to understand it as change. And change is happening with us all the time. How much change can be taken in our stride is directly proportional to
Your
How
growth.
much we have.
How strong our intellect is.
okay, but in context,
Your
How
group
much
How
you
you
associate
identify
with
with the
the
higher.
self.
directly proportional to how much you have disassociated from your body, mind, intellect, which is directly proportional to Deepraj,
How much you have identified with the higher.
how much you have identified with the higher. Simple, right? So you will read it and then you think, oh, the Lord acquires a body. And when he leaves it, he takes these and goes as wind carries the saints from their seat. You say, मैं क्या करूँ इसके बारे में? But please, this is all very practical stuff. It is not talk in the air. Just that we need to understand it. Okay, so is it clear? We already discussed that as the wind carries the sense from their seats can be taken in two ways. Either you take it as the self in the medium of all-pervading Atman, the causal body and gross body move. You can take it like that. Or you can take it as the vasanas. Take the subtle body and go. Whatever way you take it, it doesn't matter. Because what do we know for certain? It is referring to change, and change will affect you as long as you are associated with Prakriti. It's simple, right? Now, you can
Just
only ask
one doubt,
Go
Janki.
ahead. Go.
In verse 7, why is he talking about the eternal being identifying with Prakriti? It should be the other way around. No?
How can it be the other way around? Is Prakriti ever identifying with the eternal being?
Okay, that is okay. Maybe that's true, but
Yes.
then why would he Brahman want to associate with some mere mortals like us?
It is not. You have to. The only way to talk about that is the example of the bulb. Right? Remember the example of the bulb? There's a bulb. It's covered with red cellophane paper. You are seeing red light. So when you see red light, you can say this, that the yellow light, having identified with that red cellophane paper, is now appearing as red to you. So when you say having identified, doesn't mean that light is actually identified. It means combination. The combination of the original light plus the covering is what gives forth this particular color. If you put a green covering, it will look green. You take purple, it will look purple. So identified in the sense associated with or combined with is giving this result.
Okay, not like Brahman is wanting to.
No, how can you give Brahman any desire?
Yeah, because it says a portion of my eternal being having become a being in the living world.
No. So that's correct, no? Because that all pervading Brahman, okay, has now been associated. Even if we talk of the Atman, you'll notice everybody talks about the Atman within me. But that's wrong usage, right? There is no Atman within you. Atman is you.
Is you.
So that conceptually, the idea that it is within me, that means that whole eternal truth is within me. I have, as it is, made it very small. So he's going along with the way we are likely to think about this. He can't keep on telling you the same thing, right? So he says, okay, that vastness which you have made so little in that sense.
Okay.
And literally it's also true. Because pure consciousness, when it combines with matter elements, becomes conditioned consciousness.
Yes.
Right. So now conditioned consciousness is itself Brahman, because it's that light. You're seeing the light. How can you be conscious if there's no Brahman? So consciousness is Brahman. Consciousness of something is conditioned consciousness. So since consciousness is always in that conditioned consciousness, it is literally true.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that part is correct.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Wherever there is conditioned consciousness, it means we are thinking of something. Consciousness is presupposed in that. Otherwise, consciousness is there. So what is pure consciousness, we cannot ever consider. Because how would you? From a conditioned state, how would you ever know what is unconditioned? If you are drunk, how will you know what it means to be sober? So I'm drunk, so when I'm drunk and I'm saying I am Princess Diana. I'm saying this. Now, when I'm saying this, my body is there, my mind is there, my intellect is there. I am still there. But my thought is something weird. So, as the person is always there, no matter what conditioning he is in, so too is Brahman always there, regardless of what we think.
Janki ji, in this case, scent is also conditioned consciousness.
Yes. Because that's mind and intellect, no? It's conditioned. So, in the medium of pure consciousness, conditioned consciousness moves. The conditioning moves. The consciousness is always there. So a portion of my eternal self, having become a being in the living world, abiding in Prakriti, attracts the senses with mind as sixth. So he's told you what all is involved in this process. There is self, there is Prakriti. Prakriti has got senses and mind, body and thoughts. That's what Prakriti has got. Then he tells you that whenever a change happens, any change, he's taken the absolute change, which is death. But whenever any change happens, what happens? Self is eternal. It is Prakriti that changes. Now, the only question that can occur to you, maybe at a later stage, is why does this happen? Why does the change happen? Why do I die? Myself is eternal. So why do I die? If myself is eternal, why doesn't the body rejuvenate itself or something? Because the quality of myself should go with this. It's mine. So why do I die? Why does everybody die? So why does everybody die is a very interesting question. Of course, you can answer it with such things such as the body dies or, the body cannot last. But that doesn't really answer the question. It's just merely repeating the question. Or the nature of the world. It doesn't answer the question. Why do you die? Why does everybody die? What is the need for death at all? Yes, correct, Momita. All so brilliant. I don't know why I'm taking this class. Arun Saigal, what were you saying?
Same thing. Original nature is self,
Hmm.
and we have to get to the original nature. And this body is incapable of supporting us, and therefore the body has to be reborn in an environment which supports us to get to the self.
Very good. You think it's time to close the class? If everybody knows everything, then why are we doing the class at all? Very nice. So why do we die? Because we want to die. Why do we want to die? Because our current situation and circumstances are no longer conducive for the fulfillment of our desires. Therefore, we die. Just think about it. There's nothing fabulous in this world. Everything is yatha pinda tatha brahmanda. When you leave your house and you go somewhere, why do you leave your house and you go there? Because your house is no longer conducive to the fulfillment of desire, so you left it, isn't it? Then you went somewhere. Where did you go? You went to
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay, chalo. I was going to say Bombay Castle, but okay, Switzerland. But some of these people, they are going to Bombay. You know what Bombay Castle is, Deepraj? No, we all don't know. Some of us go over there apparently. At least that's what was told to me. So, okay, so now let us take Switzerland. So I go to Switzerland. When will I leave Switzerland?
When I have
When
to
I'm
go to
bored with
Bombay
it.
Cartels.
Wonderful. When Switzerland is no longer conducive to fulfill my desires, I will leave Switzerland. Right?
When I don't have the money, so I have to come back.
Yes. So now I don't have the capacity to fulfill my desires there. I have to come back. So whenever I cannot fulfill my desires in any X place, I go to a Y place. So simple it is. Life is so simple if you just begin to look at it in some kind of commonsensical way. So what is death? When this situation is no longer suitable for the fulfillment of desires, I will leave this. And where will I go? To whatever is suitable to the fulfillment of my desire. So, same if you go to whatever mall and you enter a store in the mall, you enter Louis Vuitton. When you enter over there and you look at all the purses. So somebody tells you, but there's a Hermes shop over there. You go look at that. That has got something extraordinary. So what will you do? You will leave Louis Vuitton and you go to the Hermes store. Right? Death here, birth there. Then when will you leave the Hermes store? When you find it is not satisfying your desires, either because you cannot afford it or because you didn't like it, whatever it is, whatever your reason for not being able to fulfill your desire there, you will now move to another place. Maybe you will go to SBDA where there's some possibility of having your desire fulfilled. Yes, Deepraj?
I mean, a lot of the situation this applies to, but say that there is a person who wants to actually fulfill his desires in the world. I mean, a lot of people die in that condition, so-called condition. So, do we kind of say that their desire to not, I mean, they're actually fulfilled, but there's still some things, but they desire to go to, I mean, to leave this world is more than the desires that they have in this world. It,
I could not
I mean,
quite hear you. Could you? I think you need to write your question down because I can't seem to hear you. Let me repeat what I think you're saying. You're saying that uh, sometimes in life, it seems like the world can fulfill that person's desires, but he's still left. Is that what you're trying to say? Oops.
He said yes.
Yes, he said yes.
Okay. Just checking whether is it my internet or yours. Okay. Because you can't tell me. You can't tell whether somebody's desires are being fulfilled or not. When Princess Diana died in the crash, were her desires being fulfilled or not? When a young boy, just on the verge of marriage, dies just before the marriage or just after the marriage, how can we tell? How can we tell whose desire is being fulfilled in what way or not? Can't we? And anyway, it is not a single desire, but the combination of desires. It's not like, let's say that now you are in Assam, and in Assam you want to come to Vedanta University. That's one desire, right? That's not necessarily saying now you will pack up everything and go. So everything is a matter of all desires combined.
Resultant desire.
Resulting desire. When you are able to, and it's very difficult to say what is resultant desire. Very, very difficult because all your desires put together what is that result that is going to come? It's not easy to predict. So we can never know. Even though it seems like, oh, this young person, he had everything. Why did he die? We don't know. Just like over here, we don't know, no, why people leave this, leave that. You've seen somebody, you might look at a couple and say, oh my God, they're just perfect for each other. They're so compatible. And then 2 days later, you hear that they're getting divorced. So we don't know what is in anybody's mind or something.
Janki ji,
Mhm.
is it that many times we ourselves don't know what our desires are?
Yes, very often. Very few of us are conscious about our desires in the sense that we have consciously taken up something. Most of us are merely like a feather in a summer breeze. We don't decide what we want. We allow circumstances, situations, people's random comments, anything to sort of, you see, somebody like Gandhi, he's decided, what am I doing? I am going to work for independence. What I'm doing. Now you can't move this chap. He's going to do that. But 9 out of 10 times, people don't take that decision. So, because they don't take any such particular decision, they are like, life becomes wishy washy. So, therefore, if you wish to have some predictability in your life, the only way to have predictability in your life is by having
Goal.
Clarity?
clear goal. Clarity, though, it's very difficult to say because all of us think we are very clear. At the point of decision, we are all very clear. We think, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Every wrong decision has been extremely clear. So, the only predictability is if you have consciously said, this is where I'm going, and that's it, that's where I'm going, then you can be sure that you can be reasonably sure that's where you go. Otherwise, life can take you anywhere.
Thank you, Janki.
And that is the primary difference between an achiever and a non achiever. An achiever is a person who has decided where he's going. A non achiever is a person who is hoping something drops into his lap. Okay, 7 and 8 clear. We'll go to verse 9. Have I answered every question? Oh, Mamita, each better experience turns out to be the same old, but we still think there is something to obtain. Yes, correct. Same old cycles we go through all the time, not recognizing it's the same cycle. And I think the best example of this is these husbands and wives fighting. What are you fighting about? Is anything going to change now? Nothing is going to change. You are you, he is he, life goes on. So what is the fight for? At least make the fight more efficient because you're not, neither is going to say anything new also. Same thing they're going to say also. It's not even like this fight is same. Dialogues are also same. At least make it more efficient and say, let us assume these dialogues have been done. You have anything new to say, then you say. And we'll assume these dialogues are finished now. At least instead of fighting for half an hour, fight for 30 seconds or something. When you're an older couple, now that works very well. When my husband and I are irritated with each other, we can just look at each other and the whole fight has happened because there's no point repeating everything. Whole fight has happened. Everybody knows exactly what anyone wants to say. And matter is concluded. Otherwise, just a waste of time. So, if you all are fighting, which you will, at least make it more efficient, less time consuming. Consciously schedule the flights. No, Bharat, this is what these unmarried people come up with. Consciously schedule flights. Sorry, Bharat, doesn't work like this. You get married, then you give us advice. We know how these fights happen. It takes very little. What is that song? Changari, koi, something.
चिंगारी कोई भड़के
Ah,
तो सावन उसे बुझाए.
right. So now there is no, who is supposed to be Savan is the Chingari himself. So suppose you fight with anybody, you can go home and you can tell your family members, do that person did this to me, that to me. But when you're fighting with home people, now who are you going to say? You have to tell them only. You're so stupid, you're saying this to me. Who else will you tell? But just do it more. Use boxing gloves. So, okay. Don't waste time. That's my only point. Whatever you all are doing, be efficient about it. Vocabulary escalates, we refine insults. Yes, okay. Improve it in any way you like, but improve na. Kuch to better ho jaye. So unless we consciously start improving things, same old, same old, same old, same. I know a husband and wife. They were 80 and 90-year-old. Okay, when they were young and they got married, he didn't buy her a bottle of glycerin. Now till 80, 90, glycerin, what was it? Not glycerin, some product they had, like Bill cream. Don't buy that bottle of Bill cream for her. Now they're 80, 90 years old. He has, in this process of being married for 60 years, bought, I don't know how many bottles of that stupid, whatever that thing was. But they're still fighting at 80 and 90 about that one bottle that was not bought in the early years of marriage. They're still fighting over that. Find new fights is all I'm saying. Otherwise, same old, like Momita says. Same old, same old. When the fight begins, only you must know. Same old. Okay, assume my part said. Because you know what I'm going to say. Assume it said. You're very irritating and you're driving me nuts. Assume this said. Okay. So, yes. So, consciously improve. Whatever you're doing, consciously improve. Otherwise, same old, same. And same old limits. What can you imagine if my desires stayed the same in next janma? They are in this janma. Next janma will be a total repeat. It will be like a rerun, How many reruns? Even if you like a program very much, let's say you like Here's Lucy very much. How many reruns can you watch? But if my vasanas are the same, imagine rerun, how many times? That's why maybe people feel a sense of deja vu in their life sometimes. Deja vu, you get the feeling that I've done this before. And so maybe they get it like that because how many lifetimes have gone doing the same thing? I don't know. I'm only speculating. Maybe that's why we get it. Same thing again and again. So have a clear, conscious goal. There is no alternative to it. If you find an alternative, let me know. Because having a goal is a huge problem. So if you have an alternative, let me know. But so far, I haven't found an alternative. It's not like it's easy having a goal either. But in life, you get to choose your problems. You don't get to choose whether you will have a problem. So you choose your problems for yourself. Okay. Okay, Mamita? Yes, you're correct. I don't know why I should have just said yes. You're right. Okay, verse 9. Shrotram chakshusparshanam cha rasanam ghranam eva cha अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते. Fortunately, we have already done this, so you can just read this verse. Vishayan means the objects of the senses. What are the objects of the senses? Color and color and form for the eyes, sound for the ears, smell for the nose, taste for the tongue, and touch for the skin. These are the objects of the senses. Which are the senses? All these are the senses. What's on your body is the senses. What is the object of the senses? What is it that this thing is enjoying? Okay, so it tells eye, skin, ear, eye, skin, nose, tongue. These are your five senses. And remember, he told us with the mind as the sixth. And the mind, because the mind has to be involved in this. This being enjoys the objects of the sense. Enjoys philosophically always means
Experience.
Experience. So it could be good experience or it could be bad experience. But this being, that means the Atman, in association with the body and mind, experiences the objects of the world. These experiences could be good or they could be bad. If there is no mind, there will be no experience, such as when you are fast asleep. There is no experience. Mind is gone to sleep. You will not experience anything. So presiding over the eye, adhishtaya. Adhishtaya means presiding, means ruling, means what? He's the king, right? So he is the ruling party. He's the officer in charge. He is, through these senses, enjoying the objects of the world. You've already done this. When you enjoy the objects, you go up with them or you go down with them, because you're forgetting who the president is. I mean, that real president, not our presidents nowadays who keep tweeting and all of that. Not those type of presidents, but real presiding authority. So presiding over the eye, ear, skin, tongue, nose, and also the mind, this being enjoys the objects of the senses. The combination of spirit and matter goes through the experiences of life. Okay, don't take it as the Atman is experiencing. You have to take it as the individual, the combination. So this Atman, along with the body, mind, and intellect, experiences the various things. That means the combination experiences. Please don't understand it as the Atman experiencing anything. Atman cannot experience anything, because in the state of Atman,
There is no desire to experience.
there is no desire. What else is not there? Correct, that is true.
Senses.
The world isn't there.
Yes, there is no duality. What will the Atman experience? There is nothing for it to experience. So don't take it as Atman experiences anything. From the state of Atman, there is nothing else. So what is Atman going to experience? But Atman, in combination with the body, mind, intellect, that means the individual, enjoys it. Then why does he say Atman enjoys it? Because without consciousness, how can conditioned consciousness experience anything? Not possible. Okay, this is clear. We've already covered this, so I'm not going down this. Okay, verse 10. उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति Pashyanti jnana-chakshushaha utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana-chakshushaha utkramantam sthitam vapi. Utkramantam means it's leaving. Sthitam means it is steady, wo reh raha hai. Va is or. Bhunjanam va gunanvitam. Or enjoying. Gunanvitam. So all of this is gunanvitam. Gunan are the gunas. Tamas rajas sattva. Another classification of Prakriti. This is the crux of your spiritual studies. That's why he is going on repeating. Everything is the combination of spirit and matter. As you look at this world, at all times, your attention is on merely the matter element, completely forgetting that the spirit is there. And when you forget like this, you bear the consequences of that forgetting. And the consequences of that forgetting are all the mess you see today. There's an internal mess, there is anxiety, discord, disharmony, confusion, irritation, unhappiness, all internal mess. And there's external mess. There is climate change, there is war, there is mad stuff, terrorism, all sorts of things going on in this world today. The people are, what should I say? Abusing people, they are taking advantage of people. You know, what is the quality of civilized behavior? Is when somebody is weaker than you, you protect that person. In Jungle Raj, it is survival of the fittest. In civilization, we will take care of the people who are weaker than us. But if you start taking advantage of people weaker, whether they are weaker than you materially or emotionally or intellectually, people are smarter intellectually, so they take advantage of other people. What are you doing? Uncivilized behavior. So whether it is internally or externally, one country is more powerful than the other, so it's dictating terms, like the British did to us after they conquered us. They killed our industry just to satisfy their industry. We had the finest cloth, the finest muslin, everything. They took away our what do you call it? Our raw materials. They broke down our factories, our manufacturing units. They even killed our skilled labor. They do all this for what? So that they had the power. They used it. Nothing against them. Maybe we would have done the same had we had that kind of power over somebody else. So we are not looking down on anybody. But this behavior, whether them or us, is not the point. This human behavior of being able to take undue advantage of whatever power you have. So internally there's problems, externally there's problems, and all of it's coming from the same source, which is
Focus on the
Forgetting the
matter.
presence of us, Atman.
forgetting the presence of Atman. It's forgot. It's forgot. And if we try to have an education system that wants to bring back the memory of the Atman, people will say, what is the use? How will people get a job? Okay, then go get a job and see what you're doing. I mean, it's not that you shouldn't work. Of course, in Vedanta, work is big thing. The Upanishads themselves prescribe work. So the concepts are all incorrect. You know, when we're trying to start the course in September, I don't know if we do that or not, but that's what we're trying to do. They will say, okay, the course is going to cost so much. Then what are their job opportunities after that? If you think like that, don't come to the course. If this is your concept of what the course is, the thinking is wrong. So who are you going to tell and what are you going to tell? That's why every part of doing Vedanta is very difficult. What will you tell anyone? It's impossible. Nobody gets it. And here is the Gita telling us this. And the whole world will tell you what a great book Gita is. Then read it. Read. Understand what it's saying. Subscribe to those ideas. If you believe them, don't be on the, sort of, yeah, Gita's very good, and let the neighbor study it. Okay? What kind of understanding is that? How many of us say, no, this is the most important thing, and I'm going to do this, forget everything else. And if you can say that, you will be amazed to find everything added on to you. It's the most amazing thing. So he's saying, Vimudha nanu pashyanti. Mudha, fool. Vimudha, visheshena mudha. Very specially foolish. A PhD in foolishness. Vimudha nanu pashyanti. Do not see. Pashyanti jnana chakshusha. They see who have the eye of wisdom. What is the eye of wisdom? They say the third eye, Shankara opens his third eye, it's the eye of wisdom. And people are trying to open some eye over here. Please, there's no eye that opens here. What it means is that you have a vision beyond the fleshy eyes. You're able to see more than the gross reality. What is a gross reality? There's a laptop in front of me, there's a book in front of me, there's a glass in front of me. These are the gross realities. They're there, objects. But can you see more than that? Can you see the functioning of the mind and intellect? Can you see the presence of the self? Vimudha nanu pashyanti, pashyanti jnana chakshusha. Those who have the jnana chakshu, they can see it. The fools simply cannot see it. And we are all going outside trying to convince them. It's not happening. So we have to just make the most of what we have. Let us improve our jnana chakshu, our ability to perceive. Let's do that much. And dedicate ourselves to that. Not just, oh, this is a good Sunday morning. Good Sunday morning. This is your life. Mamita, about taking advantage of the weaker. Aren't we all weaker in some sense and stronger in the other? Yes, that's correct. How can we see others as weaker or stronger? In the way you said before. In some things you're stronger, in some things you're weaker. Wherever you're stronger, you can exert that. Like let's say a woman cooks and a man earns. I'm just giving you a very, gender biased kind of statement, but okay, let's say the woman cooks and the man earns. So when the woman is angry with the man, what will she say? Okay, I'm not cooking today. Because she knows fully well he cannot cook. Okay. And if he's angry with her, what will he say? Okay, I'm not going to buy you whatever you want. Because he has power over the money. She has power over the food. Sometimes they do it with children. The mother may have more power over the children. So she can poison the mind of the child against the father. So each one has his power and each one abuses that power for their personal ends. I'm just giving you this example as please everybody, I don't mean this, I'm just saying somebody has some power in something. Maybe the other way around also. The man cooks and the woman has the money, in which case the same thing will occur. Okay, so that's it for today. And as I always do, let me give you some update about what is happening. I think Jayashree, you have some pictures for us.
Yes, we're sharing.
Okay, so there was this Prachin Murti on our campus. When we bought the plot, this Murti was there. So we have made a little, it was in this position only. So we have made a little sort of, a cement thing for it to be. It's a Bajrang Bali Prachin Murti. So we are just keeping it wherever it is and seeking his blessings that the project will be beneficial to the whole world. Everybody will be. So, and namaskar to the Murti. This is what they've done this week. Besides that, the tankies have come up because for the water, the tankies, and these are all the various people, the electricity. These are the solar panels, by the way, and we are doing net metering over here. So this below the solar panels are these electricity boxes. And what else do we have? Y'all may have seen this. This is this thing is going to eventually, doesn't look very much at the moment, but eventually it's going to be the reception and the library. So I know it's not looking particularly attractive at this stage of the proceedings, but hopefully when we do it and it's complete, you will see a beautiful reception here. It's going to have a tall roof, and that roof is going to come all the way forward to this front thing, and next to it are 2 bathrooms being made. So when
When we went, Janki, when we went for Bhumi Pujan, that structure was hidden somewhere. We never saw the structure.
Yes.
We discovered it later.
Yes, yeah. So, from what it was to what it has come is very good so far. Yes. Couldn't even see it those times. It was all overgrown and I don't know what. Eventually, this middle portion will also be removed and that library will become bigger. Then what else? These are the solar panels. As you can see, it's raining a lot at the plot and the clouds are overcast and it's very beautiful currently. And then this is the concrete road, which is the entrance, which is being made. What do you think of that? A nice, good concrete entrance we are going to have. And it's covered in these sacks, as you know, it has to be cured. So that's going on. Then what else? Here is some of the road created. So it's moving. Please, everyone, come to the plot and see for yourself. Now, as you know, we're trying to get the cabins up, cottages up by September in the hope of starting the course. We are trying to do a table seminar in the hope of getting the money to do the course. Besides, of course, giving this knowledge into corporations. So anybody here who's part of a corporate, I mean, besides, of course, Arun Sehgal and Kalyan Kumar, and are you all part of any corporates? And anybody here is a corporate executive in some senior position in any company? Nobody?
So I am in corporate man. I'm looking after sales in Rajasthan.
Oh, very good. You live in Rajasthan?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe you can also be part of the corporate team so that these ideas can go out to the corporate world and hopefully benefit them too. So we should have a whole entire system to help working professionals so that they can benefit with this knowledge and, have fun at work, have joy at work instead of all the stress that is there in everybody's thing. So maybe all those who would like to be part of the corporate sort of setup and, figure out what to do with it, who should you contact? Contact Jayashree since you already know her.
Yes, ma'am.
So that we can be. Anyone else is in any corporate life here? Who would like to participate and, work with this knowledge for corporates? Okay, so So that's what we're doing. What all? Did I forget anything? Oh yes, they got that. You got a picture of that award, which
I think we can show the Instagram page. Yes.
okay. So in
It's
the
on,
hope
it's
of
on LinkedIn also.
yeah, in the hope of I don't know, in the hope of this knowledge becoming famous, these people are working and getting all these things. So let's hope that somebody takes some cognizance of it. I don't know what to do with it. Then was there any other piece of for what it's worth, here it is. Then anything else we need to say, Jayashree?
I think no, we completed everything. We have now completed 600 peripheral plantation.
Great, congratulations.
And now a full-time watchman as well.
Ah, yes, we have now a full-time watchman. We are making progress. Now we have a full-time watchman. Look at the kind of progress we have. So,
Is there anybody from media or who has contacts in media, publications?
oh, good. Anybody has contacts and anybody knows anybody in media?
Press, media. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So that's it for today. We will.